So tonight we are having salmon bites. So I'm going to show you how I make my salmon bites. I started with this huge slab of salmon that I got on sale at Aldi, and I'm gonna season it up. I'm gonna cut it with scissors, my handy kitchen scissors, all-purpose kitchen scissors. And then I'm going to cut them into cubes, put them in a bowl, season them up real well, and throw them in a pan. It's super quick, flavorful. I'm going to show you all of the spices that I use. And yeah, it's going to be delicious. Nice, easy, flavorful weeknight meal. Am I recording? I think I'm recording. So we're gonna cut in half first, so we have something to work with. And I usually keep the skin on because a lot of the nutrients is in the skin. I'm gonna cut my bites into squares about this size since the salmon is pretty big. You can determine what size you want your salmon bites to be, but since I'm having them with veggies, I'm gonna make them a little bigger. And there you have your perfectly cubed salmon bites, all from using kitchen scissors. So I'm gonna do two different styles, one with the peri-peri seasoning and then one with the Pearl St. Plank salmon rub. Both of these you can find at your local Savory spice. Here are some of my base seasonings that I'm gonna use on both. I may or may not use the Old Bay since I'm using the fish seasoning. I haven't decided yet. I might dust my salmon just a little bit with the Old Bay, but for now, two styles, two types of salmon bites. So the peri-peri and the plank salmon rub are what I'm gonna use. So I always like to baste my meats, all of my meats, with garlic powder and ground black pepper. So ground black pepper, we're gonna put a generous amount in here because we have quite a bit of salmon bites, and it balances out the salt. Then our garlic powder. We're also gonna do fresh garlic cloves, but we have our Caribbean fish seasoning, just a little bit of this. This needs to be broken up a little bit. Okay. Onion powder. And then we're gonna add a little bit of red pepper flakes. In our household, we're sharing this with a friend for his birthday, but in our household, we usually use probably half of this because we love spicy food, but we're not doing that. We're just gonna sprinkle a little bit in for a little bit of texture, a little bit of flavor. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in here and mix it on up and split this out into two different bowls. Keep half in this bowl and then another half in another bowl so that we can break out our main flavors, which is the peri-peri or the salmon plank. Or put half of my salmon bites in another bowl so that I can have two different flavors of salmon bites. And it smells delicious already with just the base seasonings. Maybe one more spoonful. All right, so I feel like that's about even. So we have half in this bowl, half in the other half in this one. So I think I'm gonna do, in the smaller bowl, I'm gonna do the plain salmon rub. And this one has maple sugar, smoked Spanish sweet paprika, salt, chilies, garlic, and yellow mustard powder. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this, just dust it a little bit just to give it some additional flavor. If I were making a glaze, like a honey glaze of sorts, I would probably put a little bit more of this, but I'm going to probably put like a 1/4 teaspoon in here. I'm not gonna measure it because I'm gonna let my eyes do the measuring, but I'm not gonna put a lot at all. Just dusting it. Okay. We're gonna mix again. It gives it a really pretty color. And it smells delicious. While I'm doing that, before I season my other bowl of salmon, I'm gonna heat up my oil. I'm gonna use plain olive oil. My preferences are either plain olive oil or avocado oil when I'm cooking seafood. So I've made an executive decision, because I'm using fresh lemon a little later to squeeze on the salmon bites. I'm going to use Tuscan infused olive oil. If you have an olive oil or olive press shop near you, Tuscan infused olive oil is so good. I use it on pretty much all of my meats. It adds a really nice flavor to the meat. So I'm gonna drizzle some on here just so I can get a nice clean coat on all of my salmon bites, clean coat of seasoning on all of my salmon bites. Mix it all up. Some thick pieces of salmon, so we want to make sure that we put a pretty sufficient amount of spice, of the base spice, on here. Make sure it has a good flavor.